How's it going, guys? Gangster Prankster here with a different video. This, I'm going to be showing off my figure collection. Now, I just want to preface this by saying I don't record much on my phone. I think this is actually the first video. It's definitely the first video I've recorded in terms of just like posting to the YouTube channel, but I've recorded like stupid clips like out and about, just walking around. But as far as like how this is going to turn out video-wise, I am not sure. So, bear with me. I'm recording this on my phone. I have an S8. I've tried to turn on as many lights as I could. There's my hand. There's my hand. I've tried to turn on as many lights as I could, so it's got good lighting. I've got the flash on my camera. I've tried to go all out. But I'm not a professional when it comes to like this vlogging style. So if it does suck, I apologize. I'm trying my best. So I'm here showing off my action figure collection. As you can see, this is the Power Rangers Lightning collection. I'm going to show off everything, and then I'm going to kind of discuss why I collected and you know, what it means to me, because obviously if I am collecting it, it means something to me. So I'll start off with my little desk here. This is my stupid little desk, my setup. This is my monitor, one monitor because it's a small ass desk. Headphones, right? God, it's fucking hard to point. There's my headphones. I'm just wondering like why my finger is so. It looks so white, but I forgot that the flash is on front of my camera, so I'm not actually that fucking translucent. But yeah, here's my stupid little TV, headphones. I've got PS3 on the left, PS4 on the right, a bunch of papers and shit. There's my Nintendo Switch in the back, a couple games there. Some you might be seeing very soon on Gangster Plays. Hint, hint. I'll just show what I got here. Sackboy, Big Adventure, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, and Far Cry Primal. These were all on clearance, so that's why I ended up buying them. They were $20. So that's my little desk, PS4 controller, Switch controller. I got a figure here. I recently just got this in, and after playing, you know, Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge for Gangster Plays, episode 286, I did a bunch of research. I was like, you know what? I like the Ninja Turtles. I've always wanted like a nice set of figure turtles, and I did a bunch of research when it comes to turtle figures, and I found 4 different companies that are making Ninja Turtle figures. First one is obviously Super 7. Wasn't a fan of how some of the characters looked, so that's why I did not end up going with that. I'm just going to show off my figure collection while I talk. So yeah, the Super 7 ones I wasn't a fan of. And then there was the Playmates one. I wasn't a fan of those either. The turtles looked really big. I did like the turtles, though, that they did come in different colors. Because when I do think of the Ninja Turtles, I think of them each as a different shade. Where this one here, all the turtles are going to be like this really light green. It's more based off the cartoons from 1987. So I was like, you know what? I ended up going with those. It's a company I'm not too familiar with. They're called the Loyal Subjects. And that is part of their line, the Best Action line. And the other one I was looking at was the NECA ones, obviously. But those are just stupid expensive because they don't make them anymore. That to buy any turtles of any sort, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. So I decided to skip out on those, and I'm going with the Best Action line. So far, they've released all the turtles. There's a Shredder, there's a Foot Clan, there's Casey Jones, and then they announced a couple other figures that are going to be coming out, Bebop and Rocksteady and stuff, and they all look pretty cool. So I kind of like it. I like the packaging a lot on the figure. Like I said, the turtle being like so green, I wasn't really a fan of, but I love the box art. I think it looks nice. Again, best action line. I know that's not how you spell action, but that is the name of the company, Loyal Subjects. Then that's their line. So, without further ado, let me show off my collection. You've already seen some of it, but we're going to do a breakdown. So we're going to start off here on the right. We've got my DC McFarlane Multiverse figures. Trying not to get a glare so you can see the figures. So we got Lex Luthor and Joker, Nightwing, Batgirl, Batman from Arkham. We've got Clayface, Azrael, Deathstroke. And then because the boxes are so fucking big and I don't have much space, I've kind of turned it on the corner. So we got Aquaman, Green Lantern, Flash, Black Adam, Gorilla Grodd. I gotta say, respect to these vlogger people, because to fucking kind of record like what you're watching, but I'm kind of watching it through the little screen on my phone to see if I'm actually getting what I'm recording. Man, vlogging is actually a lot harder than it looks. So with the DC Multiverse figures, I would just say I recently kind of started getting into them. It all started with this bad boy here. Trying to point, Joker. I was walking through a Walmart, and I saw that bad boy sitting in a toy aisle, and I was like, holy shit, that looks awesome. Do a nice little close-up. It looks awesome. It's taken directly out of the Arkham Asylum game, and I was like, holy shit, that's cool. And then whenever I see figures that I'm kind of interested in, I do research, because I want to know, are there other Arkham other Arkham figures from the game that have come out. And I did some research, and I saw that they released 3 other ones. So they released this Joker, they released this Batman. This is the Arkham Knight Batman, where he's more armored out. And then you got Arkham Origins Deathstroke. And there's also an Arkham Asylum Batman, but I wasn't really a fan of it. It looks kind of dumb with the underwear on the outside, like old superheroes do. But I debated between that and the Arkham Knight one, and I ended up going with the Arkham Knight. And that was my collection for a long time. The Batman, the Joker, and the Deathstroke. And then I did some more diving. I was just looking into like other figures and characters that they released. And I saw this Flash. And I was looking at the Flash, and I'm like, oh, that's a kind of cool looking Flash. It's not my favorite design, but it looks cool enough. And I'm like, you know what, that Flash looks like it could go with Batman. Like, they kind of look like similar, like they could fit in the same world. Now, part of the issue that I have, because I started with the Arkham figures, was anything else that kind of comes after that, they kind of got to fit in with the Arkham figures. And that's just for me personally, where if you look at this Batgirl, she's more based on the comics, but I really, really like this costume, and it kind of fits a little bit. And then this Nightwing is from the Gotham Knights game that is coming out, and that definitely fits with the Batman. So, yeah, after looking at those, I was like, there's a couple other figures that I liked, so then I ended up getting Flash. I ended up getting Gorilla Grodd. These 2 are from the Injustice 2 video game. And there's a bunch of other Injustice 2 characters that are going to be coming out. There's a Dr. Fate that's already come out. And there's also a Reverse Flash and Green Arrow. They're also going to be coming out. And they're also going to be releasing Arkham Knight, the actual Arkham Knight, from the Arkham Knight video game, so I can put him up with this Batman and Joker and stuff like that. So, and I did some other research on like characters, and like this Aquaman looks pretty cool, and he kind of fits. This Jon Stewart does as well. He kind of fits the Batman. And then we got Black Adam here, and yeah, I've just tried to get them all similar style. The only thing that doesn't fit really is the Batgirl and the Azrael. They're more comic style than kind of realistic, I guess you would say. And then we got Lex Luthor here, who kind of fits with the Batman. And yeah, so I've been getting more into McFarlane stuff. A lot of the stuff that they've recently announced is more Batman stuff, so I'm pretty excited for that. They announced a Hush figure. They announced a Mega Fig. This is a Mega Fig right here, the Clayface. And Clayface can kind of go with whatever, because he's just Clay, he kind of sits in his own world. But yeah, they announced a Hush figure. They announced a Killer Croc Mega Fig. That's going to be in the style of Arkham Asylum. They announced a Man-Bat figure, which also looks awesome. Oh, they announced a Scarecrow from Arkham Knights. They're going to be releasing that as well. And it was also leaked that they're going to be doing a Arkham Knight wave coming up. So that's going to be pretty cool. It's supposed to be Batman, Ra's al Ghul, Catwoman, and Penguin. And all four of them will come with a Build-A-Figure piece for Solomon Grundy. So I'm excited about the Batman villains coming out. It's mainly Batman stuff, but then, I've kind of started collecting Justice League characters. Certain ones. I'm not collecting everything. And for me, I've always been a collect one of each character type of person if I'm going to collect. And that is no more true than our next collection here, the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. So I'm going to try and get a wide shot, because it is quite big. This is my fucking prize and glory here. I love this figure line. Even though it's had a ton of issues for certain figures, overall, they knock it out of the park way more than they don't. So, I've always been a Power Ranger fan. Like, I've just always have been. I grew up on it. It was one of my favorite shows as a kid. And when they announced this figure line, they started with this one right here, the White Ranger, White Mighty Morphin Ranger, and I was like, damn, that is a sick looking figure. And I was like, you know what, I gotta get that. I've never had a hold on, I'm stepping on something, Jesus. I've never had a White Ranger figure, and I've never had a good Green Ranger figure. These are two that I always wanted. I did have a Green Ranger figure as a kid. It was the flip head one, but I got it from a garage sale, and it was scuffed to shit. It didn't come with the dragon shield. It was really disappointing. I actually got the Green Ranger, and I got the Black Ranger. Where's my finger? Right there. Black Ranger and Green Ranger. So I never really had a set of like nice Mighty Morphin figures. Like that's kind of always what I wanted, because that's the main series that I grew up watching. Now, I grew up watching some of these other ones as well, but none of them really mean anything to me as much as Mighty Morphin does. So when they announced the Mighty Morphin White, I was like, you know what, I gotta buy that. And then they announced the rest of Wave 1, and each wave of the Lightning Collection comes with 4 figures. So Wave 1 was Mighty Morphin White, Dino Charge Red, a little higher up, there we go, SPD Shadow, the one in the middle, and Lord Zed. So automatically I was like, you know what, Mighty Morphin White, I'm gonna buy that. That's an awesome looking figure. And then I'm like, Lord Zed, I've never had a Lord Zed figure, and it looks awesome, and I'm gonna buy that as well. And then there was the other two. There was the Shadow Ranger and Dino Charge Red. Now, Dino Charge Red, I'm going to be honest, I've never watched an episode of Dino Charge at all. But the more I looked at the figure, the more I was like, damn, it does look kind of cool. Like, so eventually I talked myself into it. And then with the Shadow Ranger, SPD was the last series that I watched before I was kind of like, you know what, I'm too old for this shit. I remember specifically, it'll probably never leave my mind, where I believe I was in 7th or 8th grade, and Power Rangers would air at like Saturday morning at like 7 o'clock, stupid early. And I remember getting up at like 7 to watch it, and I was like, dude, I'm way too old for this shit. Like, I can't be getting up early to watch fucking Power Rangers anymore. So that was kind of like the last series that that is the last Power Rangers series that I watched. And I've seen clips of like some of the newer stuff, and it doesn't really tickle my fancy like the other ones do. But yeah, I'm like, you know what, that was the last series I kind of watched. You know what, I'm gonna get SPD Shadow Ranger. So I talked myself into getting the whole first wave. And then Wave 2 was announced, and it was Magna Defender right here from Lost Galaxy, Mighty Morphin Pink, who else was it? Beast Morphers Red and Gold. And, of course, I was like, I gotta get Mighty Morphin Pink, I got Mighty Morphin White and Lord Zed. I gotta continue building that team. And then I was like, damn, Magna Defender looks pretty fucking cool. I remember watching Lost Galaxy as a kid. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get that one too, I guess. And then there was Beast Morphers. And at the time, this was a series that was currently going on. And I was like, I've seen the costume before. And I'm like, I'm not really a fan of the costume of red and blue specifically. I'm like the visor stuff. And it looks like they're wearing a leather jacket. Like, I just feel like it looks kind of dumb. But the more I looked at the Gold Ranger, the Gold Beast Morphers Ranger, I was like, damn, that looks cool. And it reminded me of Big Bad Beetleborgs, Metallics. So the original Big Bad Beetleborgs was... it was basically like a Rangers spinoff. It was 3 kids. They get these powers, and they're kind of beetles. Big Bad Beetleborgs, duh. And it started off with red, blue, and green. And then eventually they lost their powers, and they got new powers, new Beetleborg powers. And then there was gold, silver, and purple. And every time I looked at this gold one, I was like, damn, that looks like the Big Bad Beetleborgs character. And I remember I had one as a kid. I had a Beetleborg figure, the gold one. My babysitter got for me for, I think it was Christmas or my birthday. And I love that fucking figure. It was awesome. And I know I'm never going to get a Big Bad Beetleborgs figure ever again. Like, they're never going to make them. Hasbro, please do. Because Big Bad Beetleborgs are fucking cool. So I'm like, you know what? I fucking talked myself into getting the gold one. And I'm like, if I get the gold one, I gotta get the red one. Because obviously I'm going to be completing the team. And that's how my addiction started for a Lightning collection. So again, if you look at the display, I've tried to display it in a way where villains are on the right and heroes are on the left, the turtles. So I'll just kind of show from top to bottom. So we got SPD A Squad complete, Lord Draken, Ranger Slayer, Tyrannosaurus, and this bad boy, it's a Draken figure. It was an exclusive for some con or something like that. We've got all the Psycho Rangers, silver, the 5 team pack, and the green. And then we've got SPD B Squad, which is not complete. I'm missing the yellow one, and I guess you can say like the Cat Ranger and stuff, but that hasn't come out yet. Everything that has come out, I pretty much have. There's only one thing that's come... Well, 2 things that have come out that I don't have. That is, there's a 2-pack of putties. I have the Zeo Cogs, but there's a putty one as well for a 2-pack. And there's the monsters. I'm missing the Eye Guy. So I've actually have that one ordered. It's coming in soon. So I will add that. And then I'm missing the 2-pack of the putties. And then my collection will be complete until they announce more figures. Now for me, I talked about with McFarlane, I like to get one of each. Now this series started off a little rough because when they... let me talk about that after. I was showing off the teams. So SPD, then we got Dino Fury? I think it's Dino Fury. I don't remember. This is the series that's going on right now. We got Wild Force, Lunar Wolf, Phantom... It's Phantom Ranger, right? Yeah, Phantom Ranger. It says In Space, but it's from Turbo. Couldn't think of his name for a second. One thing I absolutely love about this series as well is the box art. Like, it's just so fucking posable. Like, or displayable. That's the correct word I'm looking for. Like, look at this. It looks fucking awesome. It's colorful. You see each portrait of the Ranger. It looks awesome. Now, you have some weird ones like this, where this one's actually a 2-pack, where it's a 2-pack of Zeo Pink and Mighty Morphin Pink, but they're both cat. The character who played both Rangers. I already have Mighty Morphin Pink, so that's why I've displayed it like this, because I mainly got it for Zeo Pink. TMNT Turtles, Power Ranger 2-pack. I've got Donnie and Leo, and April and Mikey. I'm waiting for the Raph and Tommy. And obviously I got the Shredder. I just got this in, and oh my god, I fucking love this figure. It turned out so well. We'll talk about that more in a second. We've got, we showed off the Psycho Rangers. We got In Space, Team Complete. This Silver Ranger was, I got lucky with this. They announced it one day. I followed this Twitter account, and I was like, yo, the Silver Ranger's appearing. It's been spotted at GameStops in Canada. So I'm like, let me go check a GameStop in Canada. They just happen to have one. I stumbled upon it. Otherwise, I'd be paying like $100 for this figure. It looks sweet though. It looks fucking awesome. So In Space is complete. Beast Morphers. I know this guy's a villain, but for me, when I look at him, he just kind of comes off as like a 6th Ranger. So that's why I've got him grouped up here instead of with the villains. We got Zeo complete. This Gold Ranger is fucking sick. I've always wanted the Gold Ranger, the Zeo Gold Ranger. I've actually always wanted the Zeo complete team. I think they have one of the best costumes ever. Just the way the color with the white and the gold, they just look sick. They look fucking awesome. Lost Galaxy, we've got 3. Dino Thunder 3, the infamous Dino Thunder White Ranger. If you don't know why it's so infamous, I'll show you in a second. We got Dino Charge, ignore this as part of a light. We got red, green, black, pink, and gold. We've got Mighty Morphin complete. This is, like I said, this is my prize and glory. I love the fact that I have all figures. It's all 7. Got the Ninjetti costumes. I'm waiting on the red and yellow one. They haven't been released yet. We've got Alpha and Zordon. My only issue with this one, I would have liked like a stylized... Like I told you guys, I'm not too good at vlogging. I accidentally pressed one of the buttons on my phone, and it ended the recording. Luckily, I saw that it stopped recording, and instead of talking for another 10 minutes and be like, hey, why isn't that red blinking light there anymore? Oh, it's because I accidentally turned it off. So, anyways, what I was saying was the only issue I have with this one specifically, I would have liked a cartoon stylized version of Alpha and Zordon here instead of the 5 Rangers. Other than that, I like this pack. And then we got Time Force Red. Now let's move on to the baddies. We got Shredder. Like I was saying, I love this fucking figure. I think it turned out so well. My only issue is I wish the Morpher was gold like it's supposed to be. This is based on a comic series that came out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Power Rangers. I don't know if the Morpher was gold, but just... Tommy's Morpher is supposed to be gold. Okay, it's supposed to be gold. I like the way the gold looks on here. You've got other Rangers that are gold. I think there's only 3. You got Zeo Gold, Beast Morphers Gold, and Dino Charge Gold. Dino Charge Gold honestly looks the worst. I'll show it real quick. It's very mustardy yellow instead of like a gold. Like, look at that gold. It shines. I don't know if it's shining as well as it looks like in person. But the gold on this looks immaculate compared to the gold on Dino Charge. Dino Charge Gold. Let me put him away. So yeah, I fucking love this figure. I think it looks awesome. Got a cloth cape. It just looks badass, honestly. We got a Cliptor and Astronema. I wanted to display it with the Space Rangers, her against the Space Rangers, but the Psycho Rangers are taking up that spot. We got the 2-pack Zeo Cogs. We've got Mighty Morphin Villains. Honestly, my favorite figure out of all these, besides the Rangers and Shredder, I really like this Finster. This Finster is low-key fucking awesome. Like, they did a... Let me take it out. Hold on. When they announced this figure, I was so excited because I'm like, I want to see all the villains of Mighty Morphin. And if you look at this bad boy, they went all out with this shit. Like, he just looks fucking awesome. Super happy with how he turned out. He looks phenomenal. Also, this Rita here, excellent as well. Let me fix this because it's gonna annoy me. I have a little bit of OCD when it comes to my collection. We got Zed, Rita, Goldar. Goldar's awesome. Finster, Scorpina. Again, this is weird because it's part of a 2-pack where this 2-pack came with Scorpina and Yellow Ranger Mighty Morphin. But that's the Aisha version. This is the Trini version, but the one that Scorpina comes with is the Trini version. Or comes with the Aisha as the Yellow Ranger. King Sphinx, Pumpkin Wrapper, Pudgy Pig, Piranha's Head. And then we got a couple of the army builder type figures. This Tangle Warrior, low-key, one of the best figures in the Lightning collection. When you feel it, it's heavy as shit. Like, it's a solid piece of plastic. And it just looks really well done. I'm holding my fingers crossed because I want an Ivan Ooze figure. I would love an Ivan Ooze figure. I know that's fucking controversial, but I think it would be really cool. So yeah, this is part of the Monsters line, where they specifically just do monsters. And I think it's a really cool idea. So yeah, overall, I love the Lightning Collection. It is awesome. But like I said, there has been some issues with it. There is some quality control that doesn't happen every now and then. Like, if you look at this box here, here's an easy example. If you look at the chest color, it's red in the middle, pink and blue on the right, and then black and yellow on the left. And if you look at the box, they fucked up and put blue in the center, along with blue on the right. So, a couple issues. Those are just box issues. Here's another one, in space pink. This is supposed to be yellow, like the other ones. But it's dark pink, and they never corrected it. It's unfortunate, but these things happen, but they seem to happen a lot with the Lightning Collection. The most infamous one is this Dino Thunder White. I'm going to take it out. So, oh, it's actually displayed here. So, if you look at the box, looks phenomenal. That's how he's supposed to look. That's how he's supposed to look. Looks awesome. But, that's not how he came. Originally, the mask that he came with was this right here. Unpainted. That does not look like this. No. It was fucking an abomination. They actually had to issue helmet replacements because there was such an uproar. Rightfully so, because correct. Even on the backs. Even on the box. It's correct. And that's what we got. So, there's been a couple other things, but those were the biggest ones. Actually, the most recent one was this Lunar Wolf Ranger from Wild Force. I guess I'll pull him down. Hold on. Or if you look at the box, if you look at him, this is the correct version. But there was a version that came out where the stripes on the chest, he only had 5 when he's supposed to have 6 because he's the 6th Ranger. And his boots were white when they're supposed to be silver. So, I actually got the correct one. I've seen the wrong one. It's got white boots. I think it had 6 stripes, but it had white boots. Honestly, I didn't notice until someone said it, because even with the white boots, it looks kind of decent, but yeah, that's the correct version, so I waited for that. And there's a couple others, but I try not to harp on it, but I wish Hasbro put a little more love into this line. It seems like every time they announce figures, like, because they do a bunch of different lines. One we're about to talk about in a second, Marvel Legends. They do Marvel Legends, they do Star Wars, they do Transformers. I would say those are really more their money makers compared to Power Rangers, but I just wish they announced more Power Ranger stuff. Like, I'm happy with what we've gotten, but I could always use more, you know? Something to look forward to. So, that's just my little critique. Other than that, I love the Lightning Collection. If I had these figures as a kid, oh my god, I would be in love. And if I had these as a kid, damn, they would have been awesome. So, we've talked about McFarlane, we talked about Lightning Collection. Let's move on to Marvel Legends. So, I've got it kind of broken up. So, this top row here is like villains. There is Spider-Man villains here, as you can see right here. They didn't really fit, and they're not, like, big enough. Some of them are, but I tried to pick and choose which ones. So these are all villains. And then here is, like, a Spider-Man display. Strictly Spider-Man characters. That's Miles Morales. It's kind of hard to see. It's from the Gameverse. And then we got X-Men. This is one of my X-Men displays. And then we got Transformers. Only Beast Wars, though. Not a fan of the cars and shit like that. I grew up with Beast Wars. So, that's why I collect. So yeah, Marvel Legends. They are awesome. I love them. I remember I collected Marvel Legends when they came out originally, like in 2002. They came in these big boxes. They were bulky as shit. They had this really sharp plastic. I remember cutting my fingers multiple times trying to open those bad boys up, but it was just a really articulated figure, and well designed. It comes with a bunch of stuff. It came with a free comic. It was just everything in one. It was awesome. And then I dropped off the face of Marvel Legends. And then after watching the new Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, I was like, you know what? I want to start a Spider-Man collection. And this was actually one of my first pieces, the Electro. So shout out to him. But yeah, it slowly evolved into kind of me collecting everything. It's become an addiction, and not a good one. A very expensive one. I love these retro figures. I've got some Spider-Man here. Got the X-Men retro figures here. Got retro Fantastic Four here. And some retro Avengers. Hulk and Black Widow. I love these retro packaging. I think they look really cool. The only thing is they take up a lot of room, where I like displaying my figures sided. Like the Lightning Collection, Marvel Legends, you can see who the character is. But these ones, they're awesome, but they take up so much room. And they're harder to display. And then there's some figures that they've released where normally they have the character on the side and you can kind of tell who it is. But some of them, if you look closely, there's a Spider-Man on that side and there's a Spider-Man on that side. So unless I put it facing forward, I don't know who the hell's in the box. So you got Kraven, Anti-Venom, Silver Sable you can see on the side, but I decided to display her front-wise. Black Cat, and Boomerang. So I really like these figures. Got Venom, Carnage, Red Goblin, Morbius. I fucking love this Kingpin. Probably one of my favorite figures. It's just a hulking figure. The only thing I would have changed differently, I would have liked this head on the body instead of the beat-up head in the packaging. That's the only thing. Other than that, I think it looks fucking phenomenal. This Hammerhead looks cool too. The fact they even released a Hammerhead figure is really cool. Shocker. Kraven, Anti-Venom, Boomerang, Miles Morales, Black Cat. I'll just show the villains again. Baron Zemo, Ultron, Thanos, MODOK, Maestro, Frogman, Puma, Beetle, Hydro-Man, Shriek, Lasher, Phage, Poison, Toxin. And then we got Jigsaw. I'm going to be honest, this person, I have no idea who she is. There's two reasons why I bought her. One, super cheap. It was like $20. And two, she comes with one of my favorite characters, Jeff the Land Shark. He's fucking awesome. Her name's like Shikla or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know how it's spelled. And she's like Deadpool's wife or some shit. I'm not too familiar with the character. We got Grey Gargoyle, Living Laser, Whirlwind, Typhoid Mary, Serpent Society, Rock Python, Cottonmouth, Malekith, Ulick, Despair, and Leader. I showed the Spider-Man one. Now we'll show my X-Men 1 display. One of two. I have another one. It's more villains and shit. But we got Storm, Gambit, Rogue, and Deadpool. All in the classic packaging. I'll just show them off real quick. Storm, Gambit, Rogue, Deadpool. And then bottom row, we got Jubilee, Bishop, Psylocke, Nightcrawler, Iceman, Wolverine, Professor X, Sunspot. This is more like X-Force. Sunspot, Shatterstar, Thunderbird. No, Warpath. Sorry. And then Age of Apocalypse, Wild Child, and Wolverine. I'll just show off all the Marvel Legends first, and then we'll show off the Beast Wars stuff. So here's more. This is more like an Avengers display. Hulk, Black Widow, Iron Man. I know I got the Gameverse Iron Man. I just really like the way it looks. I like the armor set. There's so many different Iron Mans, but this is the one that I landed on. Thor, Doctor Strange, War Machine. This is a 2-pack of Ant-Man and... Not Wasp. Her name's Stinger. I got Namor and Deathlock. I know these two really aren't Avengers, but I just displayed them there. We've got Retro Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, High Evolutionary, Psycho Man, the Fantastic Four themselves. And then on the bottom, we have more like street level heroes. Daredevil, Punisher, Shang-Chi. And then a couple different Spider-Men. We got Spider-Man 2099, Symbiote Spider-Man, Ben Reilly, and this one actually means a lot to me. I'm going to display him here. I had this figure as a kid. That was my Spider-Man figure for a long time. It had a really stiff arm because it was supposed to shoot something out of the arm. And when I saw that they were doing this, I was like, damn, that is fucking sick. So I was like, you know what, I gotta buy this. It reminds me too much of my childhood. The X-Men 2 display. So there's some X-Men in here, mainly villains. Because it's Colossus and Juggernaut. I decided to display the villains beside it. So we got Forge, Kitty Pryde, Colossus, Juggernaut, Black Tom Cassidy, Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, Maverick, Mr. Sinister, Silver Samurai in retro packaging, Arcade, Skullbuster, Legion from Age of Apocalypse, Multiple Man, Maggot, Havoc and Polaris in a 2-pack, and retro carded Dazzler. So, just try and show a wide shot of that. Love me some X-Men. X-Men and Spider-Man, as you can tell, my favorites. This is a gaming collection that I've kind of started somewhat recently. So everything here kind of means something to me, except for Yoshi. I just thought he looked cool. Came with the little egg and shit. But everything else here, I wanted to collect gaming figures of games that meant a lot to me. It all started with this bad boy here, these Crash figures. Saw them one day in a Walmart. I was like, damn, those look awesome. And they're made by this new company called Head Start. That's the name of the company. I don't know too much about them. But I know they are making some pretty cool Crash Bandicoot figures. And I hope they continue. If not, I'm kind of happy with these three, Neo Cortex, Coco, and Crash Bandicoot. I got this Crash Bandicoot in a leather jacket because the Crash Bandicoot game that I mainly played as a kid was Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. And those motorcycle levels were a fucking bitch. I hated them, but he looked really cool. And then we got Overwatch. Overwatch is, it's a game I still play to this day. It's a game that I hate and love. I hate because it's very frustrating and I want to do well at it. But sometimes your teammates just suck dick. That's just a fact. And it can be very frustrating to play. So these figures were also done by Hasbro as well, who did the Lightning Collection and the Marvel Legends. They also did these figures. This line got canceled before they could complete everybody, unfortunately. I started collecting them when Overwatch 2 got announced, because I'm like, shit, if Overwatch 2 gets announced, these figures are probably going to jump up in price. Right now, you can get these for really, really, really cheap. And I'm hoping with Overwatch 2, hopefully it's successful, and they release these figures and complete the rest of the team. So, I'm missing a few. I'm missing McCree, Zarya, and Junkrat. And then other than that, I've gotten everybody else. So yeah, this is a little gaming collection. There are other figures I want to get, but this is what I have for now. Everybody in Yoshi. I've talked about this before. I didn't grow up on Mario, but there are some Mario characters that I would like. I would like Mario, Luigi, and shit like that. I would like a Wario and Waluigi. Those are my two faves. But I've looked up prices for those, and it's stupid. So hopefully they re-release them, and I can get Wario and Waluigi. This is my Transformers collection. Strictly Beast Wars characters. So one day I was walking through a Walmart, and I saw this bad boy here. I saw Optimus, I saw Cheetor, and I saw Rat Trap. And I was like, damn, those look awesome. And let me actually pull this down so you can see Waspinator. Just making sure I show off everybody. So yeah, I saw those 3, and I said, damn, those look really cool. I loved Beast Wars as a kid. And I had a few figures. I actually bought it because this Optimus right here. I know it's not the original Optimus, and I know they've re-released like the old figures, which I'm glad I got these ones instead. I think they just look nicer. This is a re-release of Cybershark. It just looks cool. So yeah, this Optimus right here. This is kind of where it all started. And as a kid, I remember there's this vivid memory I have. I was shopping with my mom at a Walmart. And like I said, it wasn't this Optimus specifically. It was the older one from this line here. And I saw the Optimus, and I said, "Damn, Mom, can I get it? Can I get that Optimus?" And she looked at me and she said, "Daniel, Mommy doesn't have any money." And I know that's a really sad story. And I'm laughing. And, as a kid, I was kind of devastated because I didn't get the figure. Looking back on it, when I saw this, that memory replayed in my head. And I was like, oh shit, mommy doesn't have the money to buy the toy that I want. So I ended up buying it just for that. Mommy doesn't have the money, or didn't have the money at the time. I have the money now. So I bought it. And I was like, you know what? Even if I don't buy any of these other figures, I'm going to have this, and I'm just going to have that story. Like, it's just going to mean a lot to me. Anyways, I ended up getting the other ones too. Cheetor, Rat Trap, and luckily they released a bunch of other characters. But yeah, not to gloss over that story, this Optimus, even though it's not the same Optimus, when I see this, I think of that Optimus, and I think of that story, and it means a lot to me. I'm adding this in while I'm editing the video, and I was talking about that whole story about the Optimus Prime. I didn't tell the end of the story. There is a happier ending. Now, my mom didn't have the money for it at the time, but she ended up surprising me with the Optimus Prime figure for, I believe it was Christmas. So there was a happy ending overall for that story, but when I do see that figure, I still think about, her saying that to me, and it just means a lot to me. But I did end up getting the figure for Christmas, so there is a happy ending to that. So yeah, here are all the waves. This is from the War for Cybertron Kingdom. I tried to display it as like Predacons on the right and Maximals on the left. That did not work because boxes, and it didn't work. For the most part, it is Predacons and Maximals. You got Maximals, you got Optimus Primal, Rhinox, Dinobot, Tigertron. You've got these fossilizers, which I kind of regret getting because they're considered Predacons and Maximals, but like they're not part of the original series. I mean, there's some motherfucker. I hit the button again and it stopped recording. God damn it. God, vlogging sucks. I wish I had like a stand, just something I can hold it in, because I feel like I've got like early onset Parkinson's, where I feel like the camera has not been steady at all. So if I had like a stand, like a gimbal or something that I can hold the phone in and not press all these fucking buttons accidentally, it would be awesome. But you know what? Like I said, this is my first time kind of a vlog style video. It probably won't happen again. So yeah, anyways, these fossilizers, they're kind of considered Predacons and Maximals. There's a couple other ones here. Yeah, they just don't fit. The one thing I like about Beast Wars is like the different animals, where when I look at the Transformers and I look at the cars and the motorcycles, I'm not a big car and motorcycle guy or vehicle, so they kind of all just look the same, and it's kind of hard to differentiate. But when I look at like a gorilla, I know that's Optimus Prime. When I see a rhino, I know that's Rhinox. So it's easier with the animals because they're different species, that I know which one is which characters. And you can probably do that with the vehicles. Just for me, I can't. Actually, there's going to be a weird cut here because I stopped the video because I got a package. And let's see what's in the package. Now, I already opened it, and I gotta say I was a little disappointed. I forgot to mention I ordered this earlier. I ordered from Amazon, as you can tell by the packaging, Hush from the McFarlane Toys collection, except instead of getting that on the box, they sent me the Platinum version, which I'm not too keen about. It's basically just a gray version of it, just like a dry sculpt. So that's actually disappointing. I was really looking forward to this figure and adding it to my Batman's Rogues gallery, but it's getting a return. So, anyways, we were talking about Transformers, Beast Wars. I forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about all the characters and stuff like that. I was talking about these fossilizers. Yeah, these fossilizers they were part of the line. They got launched with, and if you can combine them, let me see if I can take one out without destroying stuff. So you can take them apart, and then they can become like weapons as part. So they can transform into a robot, but this is a T-Rex skeleton, and then you can take apart the pieces, and it makes like this armor version of the T-Rex. So I don't know why I got it, to be honest. I think I got it only because they're kind of animals. Dinosaurs are animals. Even though they're like skeletons, I kind of regret getting them, but they're kind of cool, but not really. I don't know. They're just kind of there, but if I didn't have them, I don't feel like I'd be missing anything. I was talking about characters, so we got Air Razor, Cheetor, Rat Trap there. Then we got this character named Wingfinger. They're a fossilizer. That's what the dino bones are called. And then we got Mutant Tigatron, which I was debating getting because it's just a repaint of the Tigatron figure. But it is a different kind of tiger. Like, you got this one is a white tiger, and then this one is kind of like a Bengal tiger. So it's like, it is a different species, and it has a different head. I'm trying to show without the glare. So it is technically a different animal. So I ended up getting this. We got Pterosaur, and then we got this retro-carded Cyber Shark, which was really cool. I debated getting this because I didn't know if it would scale well with the actual other like Kingdom figures. So I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna hold out. I ended up getting it, and I also have the Wolfgang pre-ordered as well, and it has Pulse, so that's gonna be coming eventually. Black Arachnia, Paleotrex, which is the fossilizer, Arachnite. These are part of the new line, Transformers Legacy, which is going to be the new Transformers line instead of this War for Cybertron one. Can I take one out without destroying? Hold on. Let me move my... And, oh my god, everything fell. That is so lame. God damn it. I'll fix it after. Actually, whatever. I'll deal with it after. So we have this new line, Transformers Legacy, which is similar in, just to get Air Razor here. Similar box, similar window, similar style. Just this is the new line that they're going with, Legacy. This is a repaint of the Scorponok figure. It's a different type of Scorpion. I don't know what a different kind of Scorpion species is, but it just looked cool, so I got it. And it's another, I believe it's a Predacon? Yeah, it's Predacon. And then we have another one here. This is, now this I got, and I can justify, because you got Waspinator, who's a wasp, and then this is basically a repaint, but this is a bee. This is more of a, fix that, and then we got, it's more of a bee compared to Waspinator. You know, it's yellow and green instead of the green and yellow, so I can justify that. And then we got, obviously, Megatron, Waspinator, Scorponok. This is a character I've never heard of, but they released it, called Shadow Panther. It looks awesome, and, yeah, it's a cool addition, because it's a panther, even though it's like a repaint of the Cheetor. Let me see if I can... I'm not going to touch Shadow Panther, because then everything will definitely fall. But it's basically a repaint with a different head. But I don't mind it too much, because Cheetor's got... A cheetah's got spots? Is it a leopard has spots? A cheetah has spots, but I think a leopard has spots too? I don't remember. But a panther and a cheetah, they're definitely different characters. And then we have this character here who is another fossilizer. So there's 4 different fossilizers that that come in that series. So actually, something I thought about as well, which would be like a cool thing to do, is like a want list from each of these lines. Like what characters would I like? For Beast Wars, honestly, I don't really have too many wants. for me personally, I would like to see more of the Beast Wars 2 figure line, and there was a Japanese figure line, or it was a cartoon. But I remember my neighbor, when I was a kid, had figures from it. He had the Magna Boss, which was a combination of an elephant, a lion, and a bald eagle. And you can combine them, and they combine into Magna Boss. I believe that was the name. And it was a really cool figure, and that was kind of my first forte into Beast Wars 2, which was a Japanese exclusive TV show. So I'd like to see some more characters from that. Like I said, characters that there's a Tarantulas coming out, and an Inferno, which was the fire ant. So just the rest of the characters from the show, and then just a couple other characters from the Beast Wars 2 line would be cool. My want list for McFarlane is pretty simple. I just kind of want more Batman villains. Obviously, I talked about how they're going to be doing Arkham Knight Scarecrow coming up, the Hush figure that you saw. There's Killer Croc, a Man-Bat. I would just like to see a couple other ones. Bane. There's going to be the Penguin and Ra's al Ghul in Arkham style. But, a Bane, a Mr. Freeze. Just some of the big baddies from Batman. Riddler, Two-Face. And a nice Robin. There's a couple Robins. There's the Damian Robin, and there's the what's the other Robin? Oh, there's the Gotham Knights Robin, which I'm not really a fan of. I'd like a Tim Drake style Robin. That's probably my favorite Robin costume. So if I can get a figure like that style, that would be awesome. And then as far as any other characters, I can't really think of any. I think they're doing a fine job with what they're doing. Just tone down the Batmans, please. We don't need a Batman every wave. As for Lightning Collection, my most want figures, there's two actually. So for a long time, I wanted the Gold Zeo and the green and white Mighty Morphin figures. I have those, which is really cool. My new most wanted figure from that now is probably be like the Quantum Ranger from Time Force, or the Titanium Ranger from Lightspeed Rescue. Other than that, I think Hasbro's doing like a pretty good job of kind of spreading themselves out and doing teams and completing teams. Like if you look at my figures, I've got 3 completed teams so far. We got Mighty Morphin, we got Zeo, where's my finger? Zeo, and In Space. All 3 of those are complete. We have SPD, which is almost complete technically if we get the Yellow Ranger. And then Beast Morphers, we need 2. We need yellow and silver. So actually, I need blue for Dino Charge, and then we can complete that team. So there's a couple teams that they've are working towards completing, and then obviously starting other ones. So I do like what they're doing and continuing to do. My only want would be some other villains. Right now, the villains that they've released are very Mighty Morphin heavy. I do like the Mighty Morphin villains. Don't get me wrong, I do. I would love a 2-pack of Babu and Squat. That's definitely on the top of my list as well. But I'd like other villains as well. Master Org from Wild Force. Rancic from Time Force. Lothor from Ninja Storm. Just other characters. Rito Repulso, that's another one I'd absolutely love. And Ivan Ooze, like I mentioned before. But yeah, spread out the villains. There's a lot of cool villains across all the seasons. We don't have to rely so heavily on Mighty Morphin. So that is my want list for Power Rangers. As far as Marvel Legends, like the villains and stuff, I don't really have like a want list. My only want list would be for like the X-Men portion and the Spider-Man portion. I would like a new Scorpion in the retro style packaging. I would like either a Scorpion based on the game, Spider-Man game, the new one that came out, the 2018, 19, whenever it came out. A Scorpion based on that, because I like the look. Or a Scorpion based on the cartoon in a retro packaging. I think that would be sick. Same with a Doc Ock. I would like that as well. And a Chameleon. Those would be my top 3. A Chameleon. There is a Chameleon figure I'm not a fan of. There is a Scorpion figure out as well. I'm not a fan of that either. It needs an update. And Doc Ock. The Doc Ock that they have figures of now, he's kind of like pudgy and stuff like that. I like the more armored look from the animated series, so I would like that done in a figure form. My other wants would be basically X-Men wise. For the X-Men, I would like. Actually, I think it's mainly villains. Yeah, they pretty much did all the heroes. The only thing I would like is like a normal angel. Uh, there is an angel figure out, but it's the Archangel. That it's cool, but I would prefer like a regular angel. For me, it's more about the villains. I would like more villain-centric characters. Avalanche, uh, Pyro, Blob. There's a Toad coming out, which I am so excited for that fucking Toad figure coming out. We are so overdue for one. Last one that came out was Series 1. Like, oh, the original Marvel Legends. The first wave. That's the last time we got a Toad figure. And we are so due for a new one. I am so excited for that. Oh my! I can't tell you how excited I am for that. Like I am so pumped. But yeah, just more of the villains like Avalanche, Pyro, Blob. Just figures that honestly should have had releases by now, but they don't. So I would like to see those. As far as X-Men characters themselves, I think they've pretty much touched on all the big ones. So I'm fine with that. And then want list anywhere else? Fantastic Four, no. Avengers characters, no. Please redo like a Waluigi and Wario figure. That'd be awesome. Actually, if they're gonna do any more of the Crash figures, I'd like more of the villains. Tiny Tiger, Dingo Dial, Engine, characters like that. Those would be basically anything from Crash Bandicoot 3. It would be absolutely incredible. So now I am actually not done my figures showing off yet. There is one more collection that I have that I don't really talk about. I'm going to show that off right now. And it's probably my biggest collection, even bigger than the Lightning collection or the Marvel Legends stuff. And that's going to be my wrestling figures. Let's snap into that right now. I snapped before I finished my sentence. Let's snap into that now. Let's try that again. So, last but not least, yeah, you see my Beast Wars figures. I haven't fixed them. I'm going to do it after I finish recording. But, last but not least would be my wrestling figures. So, I have some stored in here. And then I have some stored in this big container. Uh-oh, feet shot. Hopefully you don't make a wiki feed of me. Those are really weird. I don't know why those exist. But, yeah, these are WWE Mattel's Elites. I'm a big fan. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan. Like, I'm not really a wrestling fan anymore. Not at all, to be honest. Like, very, very minimal stuff. I mainly just watch AEW. But I still collect the figures for some reason. Some of these are super old. Like, this Sin Cara's pretty old. That Daniel Bryan's pretty old. I think that's like an original Daniel Bryan. But you got some original TNA figures. Petey, Eric Young, Cesaro, Los Matadors, Tyson Kidd, Dean Malenko, Chris Jericho. So a lot of old figures. So this is just some. I have some in that container because. Ignore the dust on the floor. I have some in that container because this container is getting quite full. And let's show the gold mine of figures. Now in here, let's build it up a little bit. I've got WWE Elite figures. That's mainly what my collection consists of. But there's also AEW figures, which I've slowly accumulated more of. And I have some of the Super 7 New Japan figures. Just Wave 1, because I wasn't really a fan of that, and I wasn't going to continue buying those. But Wave 1 I was pretty hyped for. I got all those. I was kind of disappointed. And I have a couple customs in here. Not that I made. I bought them from people. And there is also the Lucha Libre figures that Boss Fight Studios is creating. So without further ado, let's open this bad boy up. Here is a gold mine of figures. So as you can see, we got Johnny Gargano there, Killer Cross, Santana from AEW. Here's the Lucha one I was talking about. This is Rey Fenix. There's focused. Yeah, Rey Fenix. This is the Boss Fight Studios one. I was debating getting this or the... Actually, is the Rey Fenix here? There's the Penta here. But here we have the Super 7 as well, this Okada figure. So, and we'll get, I want to display one of each. So give me a WWE Elite. So we got, let me just set up a little display of all the different figures. And we'll get one of my customs. Actually, we'll get the El Generico one because that's sick. I'll show off all the customs that I have, but just going to show one of each style of figure. So this one we have the Mattel Elite, Keith Lee, and the Chase. That's just the regular Elite. That's mainly what my collection consists of. I'll show some more of what I got in here. This is the Boss Fight Studio Lucha Libre. I forgot what the line's called. Lucha Libre something. And they've only released Wave 1 so far, which is Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. They turned out pretty well, but in terms of scale, they are quite small. Like, if you look at that, the Pentagon, this is the AEW Pentagon, and it's quite taller than the Boss Fight Studios. Even the, I'll get a smaller, there we got Lince Dorado here. Kind of more in scale with the Rey Fenix, but the AEW ones are kind of much bigger. So, and then we'll display Keith Lee there. So, but these are nice figures, and I do look forward to what they release next. Wave 2, they have... Wave 2, it's Conan and some lady who I'm not too familiar with, a female luchador. And then in Wave 3, they are going to be doing Tanables Jr., who's a luchador I'm not too familiar with. Vampiro, which looks pretty cool. Laredo Kid, and I believe it's Black Taurus? Or is that the... I don't know. They have a basic line, and then they have a more WWE Elite style with more articulation and details. So, they're really cool. I do like them. We'll see how the next few waves turn out. Here's an AEW figure, AEW Pentagon from Wave 2. Yeah, Wave 2. The AEW figures are actually pretty cool. I think they turned out all, like, way better than I expected. The first wave wasn't too hot. I have Matt Jackson from Wave 1, very white compared to, like, the skin tone that he should be. But I do like this figure a lot. I was pretty excited when it came out. And probably my favorite AEW figure so far, Luchasaurus. It just looks fucking awesome. They did such a great job. The tattoos and everything. It looks sick. And then there's a Jungle Boy in there somewhere. I'll show him after. So those are the AEW figures. Then we got the Super 7 New Japan figures. New Japan Pro Wrestling. They've done 2 waves so far. I bought all of Wave 1, which is Okada, Tanahashi, Will Ospreay, and Ishii. And they just, I don't know. In terms of, like, articulation, it's pretty stiff. But I remember listening to an interview with the creators of this line, and they said that, you know, these are more to be displayed and not really, like, played with. And the Super 7, they do a phenomenal job. The box that it comes in looks great. But in terms of kind of, like, displaying it with my others, I don't know. It just different and not as good. I'm not going to buy any more of the Super 7 line, in my opinion. They're okay, but they're way too expensive, and yeah, it's just not a fan. And then we got a custom. This was like a random one that I kind of stumbled upon. This is an El Generico custom. I found this on eBay. Every once in a while, I'll look for WWE Elite figures that are older that I don't have, and I'm trying to get one of each. And if you look at this whole box, this is basically like, it's not one of each character, but there's certain characters that, I'll get the other customs that I got too. Talk about them in a second. Yeah, I like to get one of each character. That's mainly how I collect. I like to get, like, the definitive attire for a wrestler, you know, and then that's what I envision them as, and that's what I like to get a figure of is, like, that's their most iconic look, I guess you could say. So yeah, I was looking on eBay one day. This is a couple years ago, and I was looking for figures that I didn't have, and I stumbled upon this El Generico. This guy created it, and it just looks fucking phenomenal. It's a Sami Zayn body. You can see a little bit of tape there. He used tape for the waist. It's a Sami Zayn body, who I just happen to have right here. It's just literally the same thing, just painted El Generico style. And he did a phenomenal job with the head. It looks great. And he even gave me this this cape, which is really awesome. So it's a nice little cape. It's a nice figure too. I really, really like it, and he cut me quite the deal on that. Because yeah, I chatted him up in direct messages, and we kind of hit it off, and he gave me a great deal for the El Generico. And then these two, we got Just Incredible and Jerry Lynn. For me, I actually got these commissioned. I found this guy on Instagram, and there's a couple people I've reached out to on Instagram where it's like, hey, you do some phenomenal work custom-wise. Do you do personal requests? And a couple people messaged me back, and most people just ignored me, which is completely fine. And this guy messaged me back, and, you know, he did a couple customs, and I was like, damn, those look awesome. Like, do you do commission work? And he hit me back, and he said, yeah, I do. And these were the two that he created for me, Jerry Lynn and Just Incredible, and they turned out really, really well. There's the Justin. He even gave me the necklace, got the chest hair. Turned out well. There's a little like crack here when he tried to put the figure together, which is alright, and the figure was a little scuffed. That is not my doing, that's how it came. And then you got the Jerry Lynn. The top's a little loosey-goosey, and the legs don't really bend. That's me trying to bend the legs. That's all as far as it goes. Oh, I got dirty fingernails. Sorry, I apologize. I'm a man. I'm sorry, I got dirty fingernails. Yeah, so again, the little cracking on the side too, but I'm not going to be playing with these, so I don't mind. But they do look really, really nice. So I actually just put in another order for him to create some figures, so I'm excited to see how those turn out. It's usually about a month and a half, and then that's how long it took me to get these, so... yeah, these are just some of the different style figures that I collect. Again, most of it's most of it's WWE Elite. Put those aside. And yeah, it's quite the bin full. That's actually quite heavy. I'll just kind of rotate it. You can pause and see who's in the box. I don't know if my mic is gonna be picking up what I say. But yeah, like I said, if you want to see who's in the box, feel free to pause the video and you can kind of see. And there's the label for the container. Oh, this figure, this is awesome. Hold on, let me take this one out. We've got, fuck, I forgot the company that makes this. Oh, I'm trying to think. I can't remember. It's this Japanese company. I believe they're Japanese. They could not be. I don't know. I don't remember too much about this, but they released this on, what's it called? Ringside Collectibles. That's where I get some of my figures, especially like some of the more hard to get ones. Yeah, this was a figure they released. I forgot the name of the company, but they did this Jushin Thunder Liger. It looks phenomenal. Articulation's great. The design is fucking incredible. And it's just a really, really good and nice figure. This is probably one of my faves. Hold on, let me try and hold the camera straight. Just a really, really nice figure. Jushin Thunder Liger. So, this company that I bought it from, this was just a one-off. They've done a couple different Jushin Thunder Ligers since. To me, it just kind of seems like they're trying to milk the character, Jushin Thunder Liger. But, hey, you know, if they're making money from it, go for it. But, yeah, I don't really talk about my figure collection regarding wrestling, but this is it. It's quite expansive. So, That is my whole collection. Wrestling, superheroes, Power Rangers, video games. You've seen it all. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Again, this is not something that I normally do. I'm usually playing a game and talking some shit. I've never really recorded. I've only recorded one other video in person, and it was a very, very, very long time ago. I'm not even going to tell you guys which one it was, but I did one other kind of live action video like this. It had nothing to do with my collection. It was basically an unbox. Oh, fuck it, I'll just tell a video. It was an unboxing for Arkham Asylum. I bought the special edition, and I was just kind of showing it off, and that was a cool little cute video. And but it's probably over 8 years old, if not more, at that point. So yeah, that's the last time I did something live action. So just to put that into perspective. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed all my collection that I showed off. X-Men, Marvel Legends, gaming collection, gaming figures, Marvel Legends, Beast Wars, Marvel Legends X-Men, Marvel Legends Superman, Marvel Legends Spider-Man, Marvel Legends Villains. And then we got Power Rangers Lightning Collection, which I feel like I've showed off quite a bit. This is, I know I went on a few tangents and I just ended up looking at this collection, but honestly, it is so pretty. Like, look how colorful this collection is. I'm trying to go back as far as I can, but there's a table behind me. Like, look how fucking colorful and beautiful it is. It's fucking magnificent. I love it. I love this collection. This and that collection. My two beauties. And then I got my DC McFarlane. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Special look at my collection. If you collect anything, feel free to leave it in the comment section. What do you guys collect? Or what do you want to collect? Maybe you don't have the funds for it. Collecting is a very expensive hobby, so I don't blame you if you don't do it. But hopefully you can live through me and my collection. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep up with everything that's going on the channel. And again, hope you guys like this video. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Before we wrap up the video, there's just a couple words more I want to say. I've always been a figure collector pretty much all my life. I've always liked having a figure of stuff that I like or watched. You know, I remember as a kid, I liked having my wrestling figures because I liked recreating what I saw on TV and doing my own thing, you know, creating my own matches. Instead of seeing like this person versus this person on TV, I could do this person versus this person with my figures and kind of tell my own story. I've always collected figures, and it's kind of only recently that I've become more comfortable with it. As an adult collector, I feel like I've always kind of been shamed or embarrassed to kind of even speak about figures or show them off or whatever. And now I've come to a point where I don't give a fuck anymore. You know, you see it. You know, if you were to come in my area and you see my collection, you know, some people are like, oh, wow, that's kind of childish. And some people are like, oh, wow, that's kind of cool. I know a lot of people are probably in that situation as well. And, you know, I just want to say, fuck everybody. Do your own thing. If you like collecting figures just like me, just know there's a bunch of other people out there that are older and younger that are also collecting figures. So you don't have to be embarrassed. I no longer am, and I'm glad I can actually get to share this with people because I like figures, and I'm an adult, but I still like figures. Thanks for watching.